Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Single Card History, the series where I take a look at some of the cards that have impacted Yu-Gi-Oh! Throughout the years, and sometimes some of the ones that didn't. Today's card, the exact one you were expecting following the last two videos of this series, Linear Equation Cannon. Yeah, didn't see that one coming, did ya? No, if it wasn't obvious by the title and the thumbnail and these cards right here, we're covering the best darn little Link 1 the game has ever seen, arguably, Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh was first released as a Shonen Jump promotional card in December of 2017 as an ultra rare, with notable reprints including a peasant rare in the 2018 starter deck Codebreaker, another ultra rare printing in Dual Power in 2019, and a rare print in Maximum Gold in 2020. Is anyone else a little surprised this card never got a secret rare printing? Oh well. Like the last two cards that I've covered, this card was up at 3 and free right up until the April 2024 ban list, where it's been for a week or two as I'm making this video, depending on the region you're playing in. A Dark Attribute Cybers type Link 1 monster with 300 attack and one arrow pointing straight down. The materials needed to summon it are any one level 1 monster, and its effect reads: when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you contribute this card, change that opponent's monster's attack to 0 until the end of this turn. If this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you contribute one level 1 monster, special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Linkuriboh once per turn. What a card. Linkuriboh has been a pretty fantastic card since its release, and if it ever comes back, I'm sure it'll continue to be great, because it just does its job so damn well. When this card first came out though, it was a little bit extra tiny bitty bit better than it is now because of the significance of link arrows under Master Rule 4. All monsters summoned from the extra deck needed to be either in the extra monster zone or to a linked zone, so having an easy access Link 1 that had really the best arrow it could, broadly speaking, was great. And it helps that not only are there an abundance of level 1 monsters in the game, but about half of them, minimum, love being in the graveyard, as it turns out. So this card saw play. Out of the gate, you saw decks like Link Blue Eyes become popular, since Blue Eyes monsters and Level Eater are just really meant to spam Link monsters, as it turns out, because Level Eater could munch 4 levels off of Blue Eyes, and by linking it away to be Linkuriboh, you could then summon it again and then make a Link 2 and then summon it again and make another Linkuriboh if you want, and then a Link 3, and just go from there. Sky's the limit, or every Blue Eyes you can get out onto the field, however you prefer to view it. All that free Link material made it very easy to summon just about any monster that the deck wanted to from the extra deck for the most part, and the deck made an immediate impact on mostly YouTube from what I can find. It was still super popular though because the Blue Eyes, people are gonna love it. There's also of course Spiral, where Linkuriboh was released the month after the first ban list to address Spiral's dominance, and in the tried and true Konami way to hit the best deck, it was still the best deck following the hits on the ban list. Linkuriboh was a great way to get a normal summoned or 1-for-1 quick fix into the graveyard, providing of course an extra body to be used as link material, and thanks to quick fix being able to revive itself and get a search, that was pretty darn good. Not to mention it paired excellently with Drone, which could get itself into the graveyard to grab back a super agent, and since Drone could stack the opponent's deck, you could be certain of what card type it was, summon out super agent, and regardless of which level 1 monster you used to make Linkuriboh, you had the means to get double helix, and really the duel's yours to go however you want it to, because fucking Spiral format, dude. Pretty damn good. And really, it shows up in damn near every deck in and around this time. Trickstar would play it, include it in their extra deck to make Linkuriboh using a scapegoat token, because functionally it didn't really matter if you used Linkuriboh or Link Spider to get your Link 1 with an effect to it. It was just, I guess, arguable that Linkuriboh would be better in the worst case scenario that your free Link foreplay got interrupted in some manner. Not that it mattered for Trickstar, but they could also say, make it with a normal summon Droll and Lockbird for a little bit of comedy before you lose because you're playing Trickstar, and that's the play you've made, and you're clearly fucked. There's also the deck like Sky Striker that could play it, because, well, Sky Striker could be paired with every single other deck, I swear to God, but also the fact that it could make Linkuriboh using the drones token in Sky Striker, which isn't nothing, and opens up a different play beyond your standard Sky Striker ones, which is something to consider, or so I'm told. Rogue decks like Mech Knight would play it, with it being one of the decks very fond of using instant fusion to make Thousand Eyes Restrict to help break boards going second. And if they were forced to go first, they could make Thousand Eyes Restrict and then link it into Linkuriboh, which would be in the extra monster zone without wasting it, since they now have a link arrow pointing down, and then they could set a spell or trap in the same column and have 2 cards to get their Mech Knight plays going. And of course, things like Goki would play it, with it being a great way to get Octo Stretch in the grave to trigger its search effect and being able to get another link material and then get the rematch going to revive 2 more Gokis and link spam, and they did that in like Dark Warrior Link Spam 2, which was criminal and time theft and oh so fun to play against. Altergeist could play this to get Milliseek into the grave to get their search of any other monsters, and something like Thunder Dragon could normal summon Thunder Dragon Matrix, which could search another copy of itself to be able to trigger Titan on the opponent's turn using its in-hand quick effect, and again opened up a main monster zone to make one of your Thunder Dragon fusions in, which was oh so important in Master Rule 4. Have we gone over enough examples yet? Because I do have more. If a deck was playing Absolute King Backjack, they could tech in Linkuriboh, since Linkuriboh could be made using that card to stack the top card of the deck to get any trap they might want in Paleo or Burning Abyss. And Linkuriboh, of course, made Hauka Fibrax even easier to access in various decks, since they could tech in level 1 self-reviving tuners like, say, Jet Synchron, who could link into Linkuriboh, then revive itself from the grave, and you'd have a tuner and a non-tuner, which meant Hauka Fibrax, and full 20/20 combo. Link Cross, Aurora Dawn, you name it. Just so many monsters and so many negates just waiting to be made. I'm not going to go into the most details in this video as to what it is you're watching on screen right now, but I can assure you this was very much common until a number of cards were hit, as Konami danced around the banning of one of the single most bannable Link 2 monsters in the game for more months than you'd think possible. This card was played in decks like Drytron as well, because it's the easiest way to get a Drytron summoned off of Nova into the grave, to then use its effect in the grave to summon itself and search a spell or a monster or draw you a card, and it worked phenomenally as a Link monster to summon off Animador to Archosaur in Dinosaur decks, which could then make it as the non-dinosaur monster to banish off Double Evolution Pill to cheat out a big dinosaur like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno or occasionally Pankratops. And then of course there's the home that you've been waiting for me to get to if you're watching this on release, and that would be the home that got it the nail in the coffin on the ban list. Snake Eye is a deck of mostly level 1 fire monsters, and while they weren't as strong in the grave as say something like Spiral Quick Fix, this deck really did love having Linkuriboh in the graveyard, because in the graveyard you could use Linkuriboh's quick effect to tribute any level 1 monster to summon itself from the grave. That meant it was very easy to play around common and necessary hand traps in the format, such as Infinite Impermanence or Effect Veiler, helping to ensure that their plays could go off unimpeded, which was crucial in the oh-so-present mirror match due to this being yet another Tier 0 format. Linkuriboh also paired beautifully with the deck's ease of making Borreload Savage Dragon to serve as the link that would be equipped to give Borreload its negate, and of course that equipped spell could then be sent to the graveyard as one of the costs for the various things the deck loved to send as cost, be it to summon Diabell Star or send to the grave to get off the original Sinful Spoils, you name it. Linkuriboh's presence in the deck did plenty for it, from being able to make easy links into SP to get the most out of SP Little Knight's banish effect on summon, and for dodging hand traps, and preventing the monsters in the battle phase if the player really wanted to, because sometimes they'd make Apo, and protecting Apo is valid too. Now, there's probably another 28 decks that played this card that I've not gone over, because really, if you played level 1 monsters, you were probably throwing this into the deck at one point or another. So sorry to all the Appliancer players that I've offended by not mentioning them, this is the most you're getting. The point is to show off all the things it's been used for broadly, and where they can't have been used. Of course, there's the big 3 effects that Linkuriboh offers. The first one I didn't touch on much, and that's its ability to stall an attack by making an opponent's attacking monster become 0, which is the least important one, I'd say, but it's not nothing. We all know one more turn in a duel can turn the tide of a duel, and buying you one more turn is something that Linkuriboh could easily do. Not to mention, sometimes you could use its effect in the battle phase as a quick effect to cheat it back out, and then if the opponent was trying to beat over a 2400 Appaloosa with a 2500 attack monster or stronger, you could Linkuriboh it, and then that attack goes to 0, and then you kind of wasted their attack, you know? It's not the most common play, but it's not nothing. The second is, of course, sending shit into the graveyard by simply yeeting level 1s in like it's going out of style. And since I've talked about that far more than enough already, we're not going to focus too much on it here and now, beyond saying that it does a very good job at getting level 1s into the grave, better than most, if not all, of the competition. And lastly, that quick effect to dodge disruption or removal of level 1 monsters. There are countless means of interaction you might want to do to an opponent's level 1, as something like Snake Eye has shown you, and there's countless means to avoid it by just having Linkuriboh. That's the countless summons from Linkuriboh that happen turn after turn. It does also have like the best arrow of a Link 1, broadly speaking, like down in some capacity. That's not nearly as crucial as it was in 2020-ish when it was Master Rule 4 and not Master Rule Fun. Granted, since it's banning, it's not like it's been impossible to replace in some ways. As long as you aren't using tokens, the easiest replacement for this card is, of course, Relinquished Anima, which can get your level 1s into the grave just fine, and even potentially helps you to break opponents' boards if you're going second. But it won't help you dodge hand traps unless you consider baiting an Effect Veiler with Anima, provided they have monsters in the correct zone for it. Overall, while I miss the little guy, I don't think its banning is the end of the world. Links are kind of the stupidest extra deck mechanic given how easy they are to abuse, and Snake Eye shows us that pretty damn well. This will allow other level 1 monsters to be hit by hand traps, and means I can beat over an Appaloosa without the fear of the little arrow-tailed fuck ruining my day. Yeah, I lost one duel to that once, and I'm still salty about it, okay? Should have fucking played better, I know, but unfortunately, I didn't. This is a very powerful and useful tool to get level 1s into the grave, and to get your level 1s off the field to dodge anything the opponent might try to do with them. It might come back one day, but until such time, I'm pretty fine with being free from this little guy. I think we can all learn to hate Anima or Almirage or some other Link 1 that allows for more stupid shit, depending on, of course, whether or not you can actually use Almirage. I get it, okay? I'm just saying, while it's a good card, it's not unreasonable to have been banned, in my humble opinion. And so that's our look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Single card history, Linkuriboh. Stay tuned for the next video, and feel free to suggest some cards to review or what type of video you'd like to see. Don't forget to like, and as always, subscribe to YGO Strats to impress your smoking Italian wife, and so that you too can be a true duelist.